She asked why I was smiling, right there in our kitchen, holding her phone like it was nothing. And I told her in one sentence that his child finally gave me my freedom. The color drained from her face so fast it looked like someone had flipped a switch inside her. But to understand why I was smiling, you have to go back 3 weeks earlier, to the day my marriage quietly ended. If you've ever felt something shift in your marriage before you had proof, if you've ever sensed the silence meant more than the words, hit like, subscribe, and stay with me, because this husband-wife story transformation isn't just about betrayal. It's about clarity. And the moment a man stops begging for truth and starts preparing for it, 3 weeks earlier, my life looked painfully ordinary. Same job, same house, same marriage of 8 years. We weren't passionate anymore, but we were functional. At least, that's what I told myself. I worked long hours at a mid-sized consulting firm. Papers stacked, fluorescent lights humming. That end-of-day exhaustion that settles in your bones. I used to joke that my career was the only thing in my life that wasn't lying to me. Funny how that turned out. At home, she had her routines. Yoga twice a week. Volunteer shifts on Wednesdays. Errands that stretched mysteriously long. And she was always tired. Always distant. Not cruel. Not openly cold. Just elsewhere. There's a kind of silence in marriage that isn't peaceful. It's the silence of someone whose heart has already moved out, but their body hasn't packed yet. That silence lived with us. At dinner, in bed, in the way she'd scroll her phone with her thumb angled away from me. We hadn't been close in nearly 2 months. She blamed stress. I blamed timing. We both blamed nothing directly. Until the parking lot.it was a Thursday evening. Cool air. Fading sunlight reflecting off windshields. I opened her car to grab a receipt she'd mentioned, and that's when I saw it. A small white pregnancy test, wedged beneath fast food napkins. 2 lines. Clear, bold, unmistakable, positive, and absolutely impossible. I didn't shout. I didn't call her. I just stood there, the hum of distant traffic in my ears, and did the math in my head. 2 months of distance. 2 lines. 0 explanations. I shut the car door gently, walked inside, and watched her stir soup like nothing in the world was wrong. She smiled at me. That calm, effortless smile. How was your day? I remember standing there with my coat still on, thinking, how many moments like this had I missed? How many lies had I mistaken for routine? The next few days were a fog, but fog clears when you know what you're looking for. She changed her phone password, without mentioning it, guarded it like it held state secrets. One night, I reached for it just to check the time. Mine was charging across the room. She snatched it up so fast she nearly dropped it. Privacy, she said flatly, like I committed a crime. Wednesday came. Her volunteer night. She left at 7. At 7:30, I pulled her tablet from under the bed. She'd changed her phone password. Not the tablet. Her gallery looked clean. Too clean. But the recently deleted folder whispered what she forgot to erase. Another pregnancy test. Positive. Dated days after the first one. She'd taken a photo, admired it, deleted it, assumed the universe would clean up the rest. That was the moment something inside me iced over. Not rage, not heartbreak, clarity, the kind that makes your pulse slow instead of spike. Whatever I thought my marriage was, it wasn't real anymore. The next morning, I called Mark, an old college friend who ran a private lab downtown. He owed me a favor from years ago. I barely recognized my own voice explaining what I needed. He didn't ask questions, just told me the sample required. Conveniently, she'd left a water bottle in her car. 3 weeks. That's how long I waited for results. 3 weeks of watching her perform. She kissed my cheek in the mornings, laughed at sitcoms at night, scrolled her phone with tension in her thumb. Every lie she told became a brick, and I let her build that wall, because when it finished, she'd be standing alone inside it. The results came on a Thursday. Private number. I stepped outside the office. The sun bleeding orange behind buildings. No match, Mark said quietly. Not even close. I stared at the horizon, and for the first time in months, I breathed. Not devastation, not fury, relief. His child, not mine. And in that truth, I was free. That night, I walked into the kitchen smiling. Not smug, not cruel, just lighter. She noticed immediately. Why are you smiling? She held her phone tight, like it might protect her. I leaned against the counter. An old friend called, I said. Mark. Her fingers tightened. What did he want? Personal stuff. Nothing you need to worry about. The air changed. She felt it. A door had opened somewhere behind her, and she couldn't see what was coming through. She paced, tried softness, tried sarcasm, tried silence. Nothing worked, because for the first time, I wasn't reacting. I wasn't soothing. I wasn't playing the quiet husband who swallowed excuses. Later that night, she showered. Through running water, I heard her voice. Low, urgent, whispering to someone, probably him. While she panicked, I emailed my lawyer. Proceed. The next day, she looked direct. Dark circles. Forced smile. You're acting different, she said. Everything okay? Everything's great, I replied. Best sleep I've had in months. By noon, she snapped. You're hiding something. I leaned back. Interesting accusation, especially from someone hiding quite a lot. Her breath hitched. Her phone buzzed. She lunged for it. Who's that? I asked calmly. None of your business. Strange answer from a wife. Silence. Then I asked it. Are you pregnant? The glass nearly slipped from her hand. Why would you ask that? I found the test. She froze. That's not what you think. 2 lines are exactly what they look like. She tried to pace, to build excuses out of air. I placed my phone on the table. I ran a DNA test. Her voice cracked. You what? No match. The room went still. I set the divorce papers in front of her. I filed yesterday. Her hands shook turning the pages. We can fix this. Therapy. People survive worse. People survive truth, I said. Not deception. She reached for me. Regret soaked in her voice. But regret means something only before consequences, not after. Her phone buzzed again. She flinched. Does he know? I asked. Her shoulders tightened. Answer enough. I'm leaving, I said. You can read the rest. And I walked out. She moved out by Wednesday. Locks changed by Thursday. I didn't smear her. Didn't exaggerate. I just told the truth. She lied. She cheated. She got pregnant by someone else. The rest explained itself. And something unexpected happened. My house grew quieter. My chest felt lighter. My sleep deepened. Peace replaced suspicion. Months later, I saw her outside a home improvement store. She looked older. Smaller somehow. Can we talk sometime? She asked. Coffee. Closure. I shook my head. No. Her apology felt real. But sincerity doesn't rewind time. That night in my new place. Keys on my counter. Projects on my table. No tension in the air. I realized something. I wasn't smiling because she betrayed me. I was smiling because the truth removed the last thread tying me to a lie. Her secret didn't break me. It freed me. Marriage isn't about winning arguments. It's about trust. It's about knowing the person across from you isn't building another life in the shadows. And sometimes the loudest wake-up call is the quiet moment you stop asking for honesty and start preparing for the truth. If this story resonated with you, if you've ever felt the shift before you had proof, hit like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments, what would you have done in my place? Because sometimes freedom doesn't come from holding on. It comes from finally letting go.